Hey guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. This is your first Anfield match preview of the season. Good to be back in the Premier League in L4. Of course, Arne Slot's first ever Premier League game at Anfield. Very important game, this one on Sunday. I will be there. So if you would like to do a fan cam on Sunday, come over. You know where we bees by now, outside the park pub, outside the Kop. Come over and have a chat because we'll be there and I'll be sitting second row in the Kop for this game. So very much looking forward to it. Smash the like button. Let's get that like count nice and healthy before we jump into this one. First of all, before we actually get into the team news and lineup predictions and score predictions, Arne Slot did give his press conference to the media this morning. There's a few laughs, there's a few jokes, which is good to say. He was asked on his first Premier League game at Anfield. He said, it's not going to be the first taste because we played Sevilla already. I was at that game. But it's clear that the first league game at Anfield, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also looking forward to every game I've played in the past as a manager and also to this one. I hope the fans are twice as loud as the Ipswich crowd because the Ipswich crowd was really, really, really loud. I'm hoping that the fans, and it's good to see that he's already encouraging the fans to be loud, create an atmosphere. Towards the end of Jurgen Klopp's time, there was a couple of press conferences where he urged the crowd to get off their seats a little bit more, be a bit more noisy. But he's saying he's not nervous at all, which is obviously a good sign. As if he's going to say, they're going to ask him, are you nervous? As if he's going to say, yeah, do you know what, mate? I'm absolutely bricking myself. I don't think I'm cut out for this job. Of course he's going to say I'm not nervous, right? He's preparing the team for Sunday. No nerves are there. It wouldn't be a good thing. If you've got nerves, then you probably don't trust what you did before. Again, very true, very nice. Very nice. You just don't trust your team. I trust what we as a staff do during the whole week to prepare the team in the best way possible. And I trust the team a lot as well, again, on Sunday. On transfers, right? This was the key question I'm assuming that all the journalists in that room were trying to ask him. He said, I think you already know the answer. If a deal is done, then you will hear from us. Until that moment, we don't speak about players or transfers that are not ours. On being worried by the lack of activity, he said no, because I trust the team. I've said many times before, I inherited a really good team. That is true. A team of many young players as well. I think we know that especially young players can develop at the ages they're on at the moment. So we just try to work as hard as we can with them and we trust them a lot. They've proven last week that they've earned this trust, and I'm hoping they show the game same again on Sunday. He went on to talk about the style and how he's learning more about his squad and the competition within the squad. On Joe Gomez, he said it's been his head has been in the right place for 3 weeks. He's worked really hard since he came back, but he didn't play a lot at the Euros. When he came back in the first sessions, he couldn't train for the whole session, so we had to manage his load a bit. He then goes on to say, he's one of the players that I see new things from and learn things from what I see. Also combined with other players, it's been a good week for him and us until now. And this leads us into the Brentford game where he says, obviously we've done a bit of business with Brentford this summer, haven't we? We've sold them Fabio Carvalho and Sepp van den Berg. He said both talented, good players. They were able to play for us, but there's so much competition in the positions that they play, so they wouldn't play every minute of every game. It was a good deal for us. It was, especially Van den Berg. And I think it's a really good deal for Brentford and a good deal for the players as well. So everybody's happy unless they do too well on Sunday. He then goes on to talk about Jarrell Quansah, right? And now, again, a lot was made about him taking off Quansah at half-time. On Quansah's response to being substituted at half-time at Ipswich, he says, in a way you would expect a player to react. I spoke to him immediately after the game on Sunday. He actually wanted to train on Sunday, which was his day off. Normally, he should have done recovery, but he wanted to train, which is a good sign. He's taken that rejection, if you like, which I don't think is rejection. It wasn't personal. But he said he wanted to train on Sunday, but then it was Tuesday this week that he picked up a bit of an injury. So he couldn't train on Wednesday. Let's see if he can train today. So it does look like potentially Jarrell Quansah will lose his starting position to Ibu Konate, not through, not winning the duels on at Ipswich on Saturday. It's more so that he's actually picked up a knock. So let us know what you think about that. He goes on to say that, every player would have reacted in this way. I don't think there was that much into it. Maybe the language was a problem, because what I said was he did not lose every duel, but he lost one or two important ones. And one of them was just before half time, so it was fresh in the memory at the time. From what has been told to me, it's like that I said to him that he lost every duel, which he did not. We as a team lost too many duels, and he lost one or two as well. So again, people are trying to blow it up and make a situation out of it, but there isn't one to be made. He said the only threat from Ipswich at that moment was Delap, and he won one or two important duels. So I was trying to get that strength out of their team by bringing in Ibu. Again, speaks on the young players that have maybe been sold this year. Obviously, Bobby Clark is one of them. But he also says Trey Noy is training with the first team on a daily basis, and he's only 17. The future that kid has got is incredible. The club will always bring big, good youngsters, and it's always a challenge to find the right moment to play them, etc., etc. He goes on to talk about Ryan Gravenberch's qualities for the number 6 position as well, which was cool. He said if there were the 10s that were playing shit, he actually said that word, he dropped the old S-bomb, it meant that Ryan wouldn't have been able to play a great game, but because they all did play well, he also had a nice game, running capacity, his nice height, really nice, comfortable with the ball. And then on Gomez's future, he said, I'm expecting everyone to be here, but like maybe even longer in football than I am, looking at James Pearce you're a little bit older than me, everything can change. So again, maybe the first time actually that we've actually seen Arne Slot make a joke with the press, or, James Pearce got it quite bad in the end from Jurgen Klopp. But now it's seeming like he's got his feet under the table in the press conference situations. He's not intimidated, and he's happy to make a joke or two as well, which again, you can compare to Klopp, but everyone's got their own style. So big up Arne Slot for dealing with the media as well. So let's get into this game then. The lineup prediction I'm going to go with is pretty much the same, apart from one that we played at Ipswich, which is Alisson in goal, Trent at right back. Konate will come in to deal with the two up front that Brentford are looking to play. Again, there's going to be duels to win there. But at the same time, to have Virgil van Dijk and Robertson both really fit and raring to go is great. Robbo did say the other day that it's the first time in 5 months that he's felt totally fit and ready to go without any pain. So that's my back 5. In the middle, I guess you have to keep Ryan Gravenberch and McAllister. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Endo came on maybe towards the end of the game. I'd love to see Curtis and Harvey come on at some point as well. I think what we're going to see under Arne Slot, maybe less than Jurgen Klopp, if the team was winning and playing well and there was no injuries, Klopp would still change it, right? He wasn't scared to, even if you just won a game, to drop a player and bring in another player. Whereas Arne Slot, from what I've seen and understand so far, is that maybe he's going to keep the winning team of the week before. If there's nothing to change, if it's not broken, why fix it? That kind of vibe. So yeah, it's refreshing to see that he's going to stick probably with what worked on Saturday. For Brentford, as they head to Anfield with 2 of our former players that we've only just sold to them in the last week, they're going to be missing Aaron Hickey and Rico Henry. They look out for the rest of, for the foreseeable future, according to this. Thomas Frank said they were progressing well, but both of them, it would be too tight for them to play this game. They'll also be without Josh Da Silva and Igor Thiago, who they brought in the summer, big striker who was maybe actually brought in to replace Ivan Toney. But unfortunately for him and Brentford, he got a really nasty injury in pre-season, so it looks like he's going to be out until the end of the year. Ivan Toney, do we know if he's going to play at all? Wasn't involved in the first game. Obviously, we saw Mbeumo and Wissa both scoring, which for them, they're going to give it the old cup tears and say, who needs Ivan Toney when you've got us 2 up front banging in the goals first day of the season? But 2 players that probably will have some involvement, I'll be honest with you, are going to be Sepp van den Berg and Fabio Carvalho. The Bees, Brentford, have often adapted a 4-3-3 formation as of late, with either Wissa or Mbeumo out on the wide areas that can come in. In the last meetings with Liverpool, they've actually gone for a 3 5-2 and a 5-3-2. Obviously, a bit more strength at the back. Probably won't play that position or that formation at home. But Liverpool fans should expect to see Van den Berg involved and potentially Fabio Carvalho. The lineup that they're potentially going with includes both of those players. So how Liverpool-esque would it be, right? How Liverpool-esque would it be if they came back to haunt us? I'm hoping they won't. Anyway, let's get back into the Liverpool lineup. So far, you've got the back five, the midfield, Ryan. I'll go with Dominic and McAllister. And then up front, I don't think there's any real reason to change it up. Let me know in the chat, do you agree or not? But for me, again, it's Diaz, Jota and Salah. That could all change with Nunes coming in or Gakpo coming in. But as things stand, that's good enough for me to go into this game against Brentford at home, a place where Liverpool haven't actually lost to Brentford. You guys will all remember 2 seasons ago, the horrendous 3-1 loss to Brentford. I think we were 2 or 3-0 down at half-time. I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain got a consolation goal. It was a header at the back stick in that dark green kit. Really, really dark time for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. And that kind of was sandwiched in between that away loss at Wolves as well, where Klopp's actually given it one of them. And at the time we were thinking, wow, that's not a good picture. It really isn't. So, listen, the record against Brentford is very good, especially at Anfield. I think they have barely scored at Anfield. So again, we're looking for a home win. We're looking for goals. We're looking for expansive football, but definitely don't be underestimating Brentford. They won their first game of the season, right? As I said, in the Premier League so far, Liverpool have won 4 times, Brentford have won once, and we've actually ended one fixture in a draw. But it's 15 goals to Brentford 7 in that Premier League era so far. Obviously, they only came back in the Prem, didn't they, about 2 years ago? So they've done, or 3 years ago, so they've done really well, Brentford. I'm a big fan of the way they play, also the manager. But Liverpool haven't lost in the last 10 games in the Prem. Brentford themselves haven't lost in the last 5. Last season, Liverpool did the double. It was 3-0 at home and 4-1 away. And as I said, Liverpool won 4 of the 6 meetings. So again, everything is leaning towards a Liverpool win, being at Anfield, being the first game under Arne Slot, which, again, the atmosphere, I'm going to make sure of it, is going to be absolutely bouncing inside Anfield on Sunday. And I'm really looking forward to the game itself, being in the Kop. It's the first time I've been in the Kop probably since May. So yeah, massively looking forward to this game. And, a good team, Brentford. We can't deny that. I was actually I played football last night with a friend of mine who works at Brentford. And he was saying that, he's seen training and stuff and they're looking sharp. So again, you cannot underestimate any team in the Premier League, right? I know it's a home game against Brentford, a side that came up a couple of years ago, but they are no mugs. We'll say it once again. You cannot underestimate them. And look, Brentford are going to come hoping to nick a draw and make life really difficult for Liverpool, as a lot of teams in that kind of bottom of the half of the table will do. So, score prediction. Let me get yours in the chat. Let me get yours. I'm going for a 3-1, I think I said on DR Sports yesterday. So, I'll stick with that. If you're asking me who's going to score for Brentford, I've got a horrible feeling that it's one of the former Liverpool players. And I'm really confident, actually, and I expect Liverpool to give both Sepp van den Berg and Fabio Carvalho a super reception on Sunday at Anfield. This is the big one. It's on TV. It's 4:30 kickoff. So they'll be looking to prove a point. If I was Fabio Carvalho going into this game, I'd be going into it with fire in my belly, looking to prove a point and say, hold that to Liverpool. You should never have sold me. That's what I hope it doesn't happen. But if I was him, that's what I'd be doing, right? So I'm going 3-1. Let me know in the chat what you think. We've just gone through the press conference of Arne Slot, lineup prediction and the score prediction there. So you are now in the best place to go ahead and be well informed for this game before it starts on Sunday. Really looking forward to it. And of course, on Monday morning, we'll be back here in the studio for myself and Doyle's Hot Topics podcast. Looking forward to that. And then next week is huge, isn't it? Right? We go to Manchester United next Sunday. As I've mentioned on shows before, if you are in the Liverpool area next Sunday, it's a 4:30, 4 o'clock kickoff. Make sure you get yourself down to Box Park Liverpool. It's going to be officially the new place where we watch the big away games, right? I actually did hear that Jurgen's is closing down. in Liverpool, which is sad, man, because we've had some great nights in there. It's a big shame. I think the guys who own the building are looking to put another restaurant in there or something. So big shame. You know, we had some great nights in there, some great times, and yeah, sad about that. But from now on, we will be in Box Park, Liverpool. So if you are in the area, make sure you get down. We do fan cams there. But guys, that's it. Liverpool versus Brentford on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff at Anfield. I will be there. Hopefully I'll see you there as well. And hopefully this time on Monday, Doyle and I are talking about another 3 points in the pocket. But until then, like this video. As always, guys, help us out. Comment with your lineups and score predictions and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you check out the rest of the channel too. There's other stuff you'll enjoy for sure.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous dads.
Come on.